This guy is still in jail. At this point, I think he just might need a retooling instead of nerfs and buffs. Alright, my rivals companions, we all know the deal with Gambit. Ever since this character has been released, it is pick or ban. And you know what that means? Majority of the time, that means he has been banned. And we all know why. It's not because of his neutral, it's not because of his healing output, it's because of this one button he presses that just quite literally dictates the entire game. And we all know exactly what button that is. It gives you speed boost, jump boost, healing over time, you trigger explosives when you hit people, and you get an increased all charge rate. Any particular reason why this made it past testing, that is? Like any early test, like early test, just the concept. How did this make it past the whiteboard in the character development meeting? Just thinking about this is confusing me. And on a side note, are there any Gambit mains that play comp? How do you feel about him being in Banjo? Because I get the impression that most of the support players that do have him lorded, it's because you guys had to play him and eventually learn him in comp. So your hand was forced to get that Lord icon. Does that make you a Gambit main? I don't know. Like, what is it? Oh, and one more thing about his ult. You can hit all 5 of your teammates with it and it goes through walls. Again, was this tested? Because, brother, what the hell? In what way is any of this okay in a team-based 6v6 shooter? But to be fair, there's a lot of things in Marvel Rivals like that right now. Out of all of the things added to Marvel Rivals with the new team-ups, Gambit's ult is still the most broken thing in the game. And I will die on that hill. Once again, I have been reminded why I talk about the developers how I do. Because I gave them so much praise for Season 9 on day 1. It was such a breath of fresh air. Then that patch came. And that patch had a whole can of worms in it. And I think the biggest thing in it, we really don't talk about that much because, again, this guy is always permanently banned, is the fact that they thought in that studio, Gambit needed to be buffed. I feel like I'm losing my goddamn mind because the developers playing the same game we're playing. I know for a fact that the developers see us complaining about Gambit. That's why they keep nerfing him. But I think one of these two things is happening right now. It's either one, they don't understand how to actually nerf him, or two, they want to keep it the same. So they're doing these slight little slap on the wrist every now and then nerfs, and it doesn't fully address what's wrong with the character. That's not working out too well for our boy Gambit. He's still in that maximum security prison. Them constantly nerfing his neutral is doing the worst possible thing you can do to a character, turning them into an ult bot. But Gambit's neutral was so strong and his ult was so strong that these changes didn't really mean shit. He was still pick or ban. I think it's pretty obvious that Gambit as a whole is just too strong of a character. Being able to withstand the amount of nerfs he has received is not normal. This is not okay. This is not a normally built character. They did way too much with his kit, and now they're forced to nerf or change something about his kit almost every single season just to see if he can actually fit into a season without being permanently banned. It's really a shame that it's come to this with Gambit, because that Magneto team up now really puts him over the top once again. It's a cloak and dagger bubble that boops people away. That is outrageously strong. When you read Gambit's full ability list, you'll probably just end up looking at the list like this, because you'll just be sitting there wondering how the fuck did he get past any kind of testing. But enough about what's wrong with Gambit. I want to talk about a way how to make him actually playable in this game, and I don't know if it's a good way or a bad way. I don't like seeing him being in Banjo every single season. I just want him to be playable. I actually have two different ways to make him more playable in mind. They both revolve around his ult. It has nothing to do with his neutral. I think his neutral is fine. It's just his ult that has been the biggest problem since he's released. In fact, it hasn't just been his biggest problem. It's been the entire game's biggest problem. Earlier, I listed off every single thing Gambit's ult does. Could any of you believe that out of everything I mentioned that his ult does, the developers have yet to remove a single attribute from his ult? They just keep changing the numbers on what they actually do. It's almost like if you remove one of the insanely broken things his ult does, it might low-key fix it, or at least be baby steps towards making it more digestible. Both ultimate nerfs I have in mind will include this. He is no longer able to use his ult through walls. I don't know why that was ever considered and actually put into the game. It's not like this character moves like he's in molasses. This character has 2 dashes. If you can't dash behind your team or calm to your team, hey, get in front of me, I want to use my ult. So sad, too bad. The first ult I'm currently thinking of is keeping it as close as possible to the ult we have right now. Now, I know that sounds a little bit crazy. Just hear me out. If we're going to keep it as a 5-man wide ult, we need to remove some attributes from it. Maybe remove the jump boost, maybe remove the healing, maybe remove the card explosions, but something's got to go. Something just has to be removed from this ult. Maybe multiple things, I don't know, but something has to be removed. That's how I would balance it if you want to keep it as a 5-man ult. All right, don't forget Gambit also gets the ult as well, so 6 people will have Gambit all on his team if you do it properly. All right, for the second one, this is the one that I really like the most. Make it to where you can only give it to one person. I still would want Gambit to be able to have his ult as well, so it would just be 2 people getting his ult. And here's another thing about it as well. If we were to make it to where he can only ult one person, I honestly believe you can start reverting some of the changes they've made to his kit and his ult as a whole, because it'd be a lot more digestible considering that it isn't 6 people having an uber OP ult and it's only 2. I don't know, am I tweaking on that? But I feel like we probably could start reverting some changes if his ult was just changed to that. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because I don't want him to be only playable in triple support. I don't like when supports are only playable in triple support. That is the lamest thing about that role. Gambit has been in jail since his inception. And in a sense, I'm kind of glad that Gambit is like a problem to balance, not in the way of, oh, I just like that he's OP. I like the fact that this support character is very different from a lot of support characters we have in this game. My issue is they just did a little bit too much with him, and now he's literally unplayable unless you drastically change something about his current kit. He has way too much utility to be an alt bot. It shouldn't be like that, man. He's so unique of a character for that to be his playstyle. We all know that every Gambit game comes down to which team has the better Gambit ults. That is just lame as hell. So let's wrap this up. If it isn't clear yet, I actually hate the Gambit we have right now because his character has potential to be one of the best and most well-made characters in the game, at least on the support role at a bare minimum. Yet he has been reduced to an alt bot in a very weird way. His neutral is very strong even after the nerfs, but his ult is even stronger after the nerfs. So every time you play him, it just becomes, can I please get my ult? That's it, and that's really boring. If you made it this far into the video, you know the drill. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day, and peace out.